Ever thought about how the NYC trucker boycott is affecting your day-to-day life? It's a question not many of us ponder on, but the impact is far-reaching and more significant than one might initially think. The NYC trucker boycott is an ongoing movement, and it's gaining momentum with each passing day, making waves in ways that are both seen and unseen. But what exactly is fueling this drive? A major catalyst for this boycott are the increasingly high tolls that truckers are forced to pay. It's like a never-ending gauntlet of fees, making the cost of doing business in the Big Apple more than just a little sour. But that's not all. The city's crime rates have also been a deterrent for truckers. Safety is paramount on the road, and when that's compromised, it's a deal-breaker. It's not just about the cargo they're hauling, but their own well-being too. And let's not forget the crumbling infrastructure. Poorly maintained roads and bridges not only slow down deliveries but also wear down vehicles faster, leading to more maintenance and repair costs. It's a triple threat that's driving truckers away from New York City. Now you might be wondering, how does this all affect me? Well, consider this: almost everything we use or consume in our daily lives, from the food on our tables to the clothes on our backs at some point, makes its journey by truck. When truckers boycott a city, the ripple effects are felt by everyone. Small businesses are particularly hard hit. With fewer deliveries coming in, shelves become emptier and options become limited. And while the larger stores may still be stocked for now, even they could feel the pinch if the boycott continues. So as we navigate our way through this complex issue, it's important to remember that the NYC trucker boycott isn't just about the truckers. It's about every New Yorker and every consumer who relies on the goods these truckers transport. As we can see, the NYC trucker boycott is more than just a trucker's issue. It's a matter that concerns us all. But what about the legal challenges and allegations of political bias facing this boycott? As the NYC trucker boycott surges forward, it's met with a formidable roadblock: the legal system. Yes, the boycott faces legal challenges that are as complex as the city's infamous spaghetti junctions. Some critics argue that these challenges are a clear sign of political bias, while others see them as necessary law enforcement. The crux of these legal challenges revolves around the fundamental right to protest. This issue isn't as straightforward as it might seem. While the Constitution protects the freedom to express dissent, it doesn't give a free pass to disrupt public order or impede commerce. So the question is, where do we draw the line between a lawful protest and an unlawful disruption? Some believe that the legal challenges are politically motivated. They argue that the city's administration is using the law as a tool to suppress the truckers' protest, given that many truckers are seen as supporters of conservative policies. The city, they say, is supposedly leaning on its power to silence dissenting voices. On the other hand, there are those who argue that these legal challenges are not about politics but about maintaining law and order. They contend that the boycott is causing significant disruptions to the city's economy and infrastructure, and thus legal action is necessary to protect the interests of the city and its residents. The legal challenges also extend to the financial realm. Truckers are being slapped with hefty fines for participating in the boycott, fines that some argue are exorbitant and unjust. So, what do these challenges mean for the boycott? Well, they could potentially derail it. If the courts rule against the truckers, it could discourage others from joining the protest due to fear of legal repercussions. Conversely, if the legal challenges are seen as unjust, it could galvanize more truckers to join the cause and further fuel the boycott. As the legal challenges unfold, the future of the NYC trucker boycott hangs in the balance. How are businesses coping with the boycott? And what does the new congestion toll mean for truckers? As the trucker boycott continues to gain momentum, businesses in New York City are feeling the heat, especially the smaller ones. These businesses rely heavily on truckers to transport goods, and the boycott is disrupting their supply chains. The mom-and-pop stores, the local restaurants sourcing fresh produce, the boutique fashion outlets needing the latest designs, they're all grappling with a shortage of goods and the subsequent hike in prices. Larger stores, on the other hand, have been somewhat cushioned from the immediate impact thanks to their extensive networks and inventory reserves. However, they too are not immune to the long-term effects of the boycott. As truckers continue to avoid the city, these stores may soon start to see their shelves thinning out. Now let's talk about the new congestion toll. New York City has implemented a $115 congestion toll for all entering vehicles, a move that's adding fuel to the fire. This toll is an additional financial burden on the already struggling truckers. making the prospect of entering the city even less appealing. It's not just the truckers who are affected though. This cost is likely to trickle down to consumers as businesses pass on the increased transportation cost in the form of higher product prices. This new toll, coupled with the existing high tolls, crime rates, and poor infrastructure, makes New York City an increasingly difficult place for truckers to operate. It's a tough situation, with no easy solutions in sight. On one hand, the city is trying to manage congestion and raise revenue, but on the other hand, these measures are pushing truckers away, disrupting businesses, and potentially driving up the cost of living for its residents. As the boycott continues and new tolls are implemented, the ripple effects are felt by businesses and truckers alike. The question that lingers now is, how will the city, the businesses, and the truckers adapt to this new reality? And more importantly, what will this mean for the ordinary New Yorker trying to make ends meet? So where do we go from here, and what does the future hold for NYC and its truckers? The roads ahead are unclear, with the boycott still gaining momentum, and the city's legal challenges mounting. As we navigate these uncharted territories, we can only speculate on the potential outcomes. If the boycott continues, we can expect smaller businesses to bear the brunt of the impact. Larger stores might continue to stay stocked, but for how long? The new congestion toll is adding fuel to the fire. It's another burden on the shoulders of our truckers, making their job even more challenging. If the city doesn't address these issues soon, could we see more truckers joining the boycott? Would this lead to a supply chain crisis in the city? And what about the truckers? They're at the heart of this upheaval. Will they find a way to cope with the high tolls, crime rates, and poor infrastructure, or will they seek greener pastures elsewhere? Only time will tell how this saga will unfold and what the future holds for NYC and its hardworking truckers.